What could be the reason that America, despite being the world's largest oil producer, cannot use its own oil even if it wants to? It is much like a farmer growing crops on his own land. When he goes to use those crops, he has to join hands with someone else. In the world we actually live in, what is seen in front and the reality behind are always different. Similarly, millions of containers go to America from China every year, but why does America throw them in the garbage heap? And in the middle of all this, how does Iran smuggle Boeing 777 aircraft in front of the whole world? Let's find out all this in today's episode. Millions of ships are sailing on the seas of the world, and 90% of our civilization's economy survives on the shoulders of those ships. At any given moment, thousands of container ships are crossing the vast ocean, and on each ship there are thousands of iron boxes. The clothes you wear, the mobile phones you carry, have never been inside these boxes. Yes, from a distance it seems that the goods will come in containers, the empty containers will return, everything is as planned. But in reality, there is such an inconsistency hidden in this flow that your eyes will pop out when you hear it. Because every episode of Mr. AY makes your eyes roll up. Anyway, China has become the world's factory in the last few decades. Their huge exports and limited imports have created a huge trade empire. So the real problem begins when this stack of containers reaches the ports of Europe or America. The business profits of all European countries combined are very small compared to China. And in the case of America, the picture is even different. The world's largest consumer, this country imports a lot, but exports very little. As a result, 40% of the containers that come from China return back filled with goods. But then where does the remaining 60% go? It's not like all the containers return empty, because sending empty containers means extra costs. Each empty box costs about $3,000 to ship back to China, and it also takes up valuable space on the ship. But a full container could generate millions of dollars. China can even make new containers in its own country for just $2,000, so they don't feel the need to send old boxes back. As a result, many new containers are made every year, but they lie rusting in the ports and around the cities of the old country. Some buy them and build cheap warehouses and small houses. Others melt them down to extract steel from them, but a large part of them remains unused. These rusting mountains of iron are a silent signature of the imbalances in world trade. On the other side of this global trade lies the secret of American oil. The country today produces the most oil in the world, but they cannot fully utilize their own oil. The first reason is the nature of the oil. The oil extracted from American soil is light and thin, which is called light crude. But most of the country's refineries are built to refine heavy and thick oil. Once upon a time, America used to import dark oil from Mexico and Venezuela. Accordingly, equipment was also built there. However, now, to replace that equipment and make it suitable for processing light oil, an investment of more than $200 billion is required, which is not possible in a very short time. So they sell light oil abroad at high prices and import heavy oil from abroad at low prices. The second reason is the infrastructure crisis. They do not have sufficient pipelines from where oil is discovered and extracted to the refinery. For example, Texas has a sea of oil, but it doesn't have enough pipelines to reach the refineries on the East Coast. States like California, which don't have their own pipeline infrastructure, rely on imports for about 70% of their energy. As a result, even if the country has oil under its soil, it can't get to the right place. However, if we now turn our attention to the politics of sanctions and blockades, we will see a different dramatic story. Iran has been under strict sanctions imposed by the United States for many years. They can't buy or sell anything from the United States or its allies. Yet, a private airline called Great Air in Iran uses many American Boeing